Agreed on both by all six of you here today?
I think we're going to have a combination of solutions, no doubt about it. The tax credit to mention in today's paper, I think it's a good idea, as long as we're very careful in making sure that there is no fraud there. And I say that as a member of the Oversight Committee. We've seen all kinds of problems with these kinds of tax efforts. But the other thing, Chairman LaHood of the Secretary LaHood of Transportation, a good Republican friend of mine, came in the other day and talked about the stimulus, and he pretty much was a little bit upset with the Republican members of our party, Transportation Committee, and basically said, look, the stimulus is working. It's made a difference. It's what Mr. Kanjorski was just talking about. We had a problem, and we have slowed the problem down. When we look at the jobs numbers, no, they're not beautiful. As a matter of fact, they are upsetting to probably everybody on this panel. But the fact is, it could have been a lot worse. And so I think that we are now in a position where we're going to have a combination of things. Just today, the president's talking about an urban policy. We're going to have to address that because a lot of the unemployment rate, high unemployment, is places like my district. I've got places in my district where the unemployment rate is maybe 25%. And so we've got to address it. And I think Kanjorski is right. We've got to join hands. We've got to work together. This is an American problem, not a Republican, not a Democrat.
Congressman McCarthy, are you feeling this?
Believe will solve the problem doesn't start for another 4 years.
Congressman Cummings, is this fantasy stuff that you guys are putting forward as pay for us?
Yeah, we'll be able to pay for it. Let me say this. You know, we can sit around and do nothing. I have a feeling that when it comes to this bill coming out of the House, you'll have a very good bill, and we may not have one single Republican supporting it. May not. And I think that's a pretty good probability. That's sad. America is suffering. You're talking about a health care system where we're spending $1 out of $6 for health care. Our people are not getting better. As a matter of fact, many people in my district don't have health care. Recent reports shows that anywhere from 18 to 44,000 people, our fellow Americans that are watching us right now, are dying. If there has been any moment for the urgency of now, as the president says, it's now. So we've come further than we have ever come. I've listened to the pundits on various stations talking about, you know, are they going to have the public option? Are they going to do this, that? The fact is that we're further now with health care than we've ever been. And we're going to get there with the Republicans. I'd love to have them. I'd like to hold hands with them.
Where's there? We're going
to get a piece of legislation out which addresses the idea of choice, making sure that people, most Americans, if not all, are covered, and making sure that we control costs. It's one thing to have a policy. It's another thing to be able to afford it. And so we've got to, I think, you know, we're going to get there. And I hope that we'll have a bipartisan situation. But as the president says, if we can't do it with our friends, then we'll have to do it alone because the United States population is depending on us.
Wouldn't that $1 trillion question, where is there? I mean, there is going to be a bill when the congressman says we're going to pay for it. We can't pay for the government we have today. That's why we have a $1 trillion deficit. That's why the national debt is going to be tripled in the next 10 years under this economic plan. And if he says, well, we may do this without any Republican votes, yes. If you're going to ration people's health care, if you're going to make massive cuts to Medicare, I doubt you'll do it with Republican votes. On the other hand, if I can finish the thought, I don't think we're going to get one Democrat to vote for us to do anything to rein in the trial attorneys and do something for defensive medicine. So
healthcare is being rationed right now. He doesn't seem to get it. Healthcare is being rationed right this moment by insurance companies. I mean, we've had the testimony before our committee in oversight. Come on now. Let's not kid ourselves. This is a life and death situation. This is not a joke.
Congressman Cummings, one criticism of the president has been that he craves too much anonymity as these bills are being written. We were told that he's leaning on Congress more to bridge the divide. Is he? And does that practice extend to other areas of legislation?
I think the president is taking on a lot, and not too much, by the way, because as Barney Frank said a few minutes ago, he inherited a true mess. But one of the things that I'd like to see him more forceful on deal with more forcefully is the whole issue of foreclosure. Certainly jobs are important, health care is important, but I've got a lot of people, and people that are watching us right now, who are being put out of their houses. 200,000 foreclosures in the second quarter in this country, 9,000 in my state. We cannot have Americans being put out of their houses, losing their jobs, losing their savings, losing their health care. I've said it over and over again. This storm, we will get through this storm, this economic storm. The question is not whether we'll get through it, it's who will be in your house, who will have your job, or will there be a job? And will you still be alive? Will you be healthy? Those are the kinds of questions that we've got to address, and I think the president's done a good job. He's just got a lot. He's inherited a lot, and I think all of us understand he's got to deal with it. We may have disagreements, but we really do have to come together and address these issues because that's what the American people expect.
Congressman.